Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number 3452 DPK. This is a door sweep that features a piece of dark bronze aluminum extrusion, integrating a drip cap with a piece of what is called Pemko preen insert. It's a synthetic type of seal that would be more capable, have a higher performance threshold than just typical vinyl, your Pemko preen. A synthetic rubber really is what it is. Okay, and the 3452, now that's representative of the profile of this item. And that means, and we can look at the image down below this video to see what all that looks like. You can see that you're about 1.5 inches overall height, okay, to the bottom of the synthetic rubber. 1.25 inches on the extrusion, a bit hard to see that because of the dark color, and 1/4 inch down here. Now the projection of the drip cap is 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch is really common for a door sweep. Sometimes you'll see them about 9/16, but the point of the door sweep is that you're going to install this on the exterior side of a door opening when the doors swing out, or if they swing in. Depending on how they swing, you may or may not notch the drip cap around the stop of the frame. You would do so on an in-swing, but the point of the matter is the people who have installed this type of material that integrates drip caps, they become very converted to the practice of using it, because people, once they see drip caps installed, they are witness to the effectiveness of how substantial an impact they can make on just helping drive water away from the opening. Your line of defense is going to be down here. Getting that water, or not permitting it to get to your line of defense, is where the entire difference comes into play when it comes to door sweeps. But drip caps are also very commonly used at the top of a frame. They make a 2.5 inch projection drip cap that literally mounts over the header. And while you don't see those installed in residential applications very often, like you would a door sweep that integrates a drip cap, you will very often see them installed in commercial applications. Think of your big box home improvement store, or the movie theater, or the grocery store in your neighborhood. Generally, these buildings have, they're built to being 2 or 3 stories high, basically. Even though they're ceiling, well, 2 stories, let's say, where they can have literally a 20, 30, 40-foot wall structure out over their double doors of emergency egress. Doors that aren't open very often, but you'll very likely see those drip caps installed there, because the square footage of the wall above there permits a tremendous amount of water to be captured, hit that masonry wall, and then it's just all going to come down. That entire column eventually is going to hit the top of the frame, hopefully hit the drip cap, drive it away, and because the drip cap is curved, the water doesn't creep back up over this semicircle, and it literally drips at that point. Because where doors and frames are going to fatigue and fail is from rusting or from water damage. And without a drip cap installed at the header, that water is going to hit the masonry, hit the lintel, hit the face of the steel, come and drip then in between the margin between the underside of the head and the top of the door, drip down into the door, come all the way through the door, collect and pool at the bottom, rust the bottom of the door and frame out. Then it's just a matter of a couple years or so before a replacement will be mandatory. The same logic applies with a drip cap at the door sweep. You're pushing that water away from your line of defense, so nothing's collecting there. And I've seen instances when it's rained heavily, but the line of defense at the door sweep is basically dry when using these. So if you have an exterior door, residential or commercial, I can't think of a reason not to use a drip cap, unless, of course, you literally have no chance of anything ever getting wet. But even with great deep awnings or structures built over, like a condo building where you've got 10 feet before it'll get to the face of the door. Well, down here in southern Florida, 10 feet doesn't mean anything when it comes to extreme weather or even the heavy rains that we will get. You will see blowing water, and is a drip cap going to stop a hurricane? No, of course not. Will it stop a hose? Someone standing there hitting it with a hose? No. But will it have a benefit in instances that otherwise you would not? Yes, of course it would. So consider it at that point. Now, the D in the part number means dark bronze anodized, and this is available in probably 6 or 7 finishes. Going from memory, A would be mill aluminum. Bright BDG would be bright dip gold. That would be a metallic gold polished brass type color. C would be clear anodized aluminum. D would be dark bronze, like this one. G would be a matte gold color. PW would be painted white. SN would be satin nickel. I caution you on satin nickel. It's certainly complementary to satin nickel, but there are 1 out of 10 people will say that satin nickel's no good. Well, it's not. It's not a great match for a for a solid brass piece that's been plated satin nickel. It's complementary to it. It will have a gray pewter type look. But all the other finishes are fairly faithful to what they're trying to mimic in an anodized process. Now, this is listed in the website in lots of different lengths, everything from 2 foot to 8 foot. You can have longer lengths should you need it, but you probably won't, given the nature of what this is. You're probably not going to have a single leaf where this is required, typically any wider than 4 foot to begin with. But if you have need for a custom length, by all means, let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field the net length that you'd like for us to ship the material out at. And the reasoning for that is because this happens to be a 3 foot piece. Well, if you had to turn it into a 34-inch piece, you're going to eliminate that first slotted hole that's there. And speaking of that slotted hole, screws are included in a complementary finish. So you'll be stuck cutting that and then having to drill a new hole. And drilling a slotted hole is naturally not easy. Also, that slotted hole helps compensate for a misdrilled hole, whether you're drilling into wood or steel or stainless steel or bronze or fiberglass, aluminum, brass or bronze. That, if you're not used to center punch, that drill bit might walk a little bit before it pierces in, and that slotted hole helps compensate for that condition as well. So a very handy feature to have. And the point being is, if you were to order the next longest piece or pieces, indicate in the comment field the net length you would like for us to ship it out to, and that's what we'll endeavor to do for you. If you're installing this on an outswinging door, you're going to want to measure your door. The door sweep might be able to be a little slightly longer than the door width, a tiny amount. But if it's an in-swing door, you're going to want it cut shorter, because if you have a 3 foot in-swing door and you're going to mount it on the outside, well, the distance between the stops sure isn't 36 inch. And you're encouraged to measure the size you need and order the next longest piece, and that's what they'll endeavor to send to you. So keep that in mind. The name Pemko is synonymous with all things weather stripping related, and below this link, below this video is a link to the manufacturer's page, where you can pull up not only all of the Pemko products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Pemko, this is their part number 3452 in a D finish and a PK insert, or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.